Hello, y'all. How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. It is Thursday. That means it's time for, a stream. As is the case, just about every Thursday. Now, for this Thursday, today, I've decided to, do some N64 Online games. Some just came out. Specifically, specifically 1080-degree snowboarding, 1080-degree snowboarding, and also Harvest Moon 64 and Jet Force Gemini. 3 games all at once. Kind of a big thing. Usually, most of the time they've done N64 Online releases, it's just been one game. Maybe 2? Was the Mario Party 1 and 2 together? I forget. I think they were separated, though. But in either case, 3 at once, that hasn't been seen since the service launched in the first place. Since over a year ago. Which is delightful. Which is great. And tonight, I figured I would play some of them games. Stream's a little late, I know. I intended to start like a half hour ago, more than that even. So there were some technical issues that prevented that. When I was setting things up in OBS, I realized like, oh crap, my webcam isn't turning on, and I had to restart my computer for it to recognize that webcam, which was very annoying. And fortunately, after restart, it all just worked. So, it wasn't as big a delay as I was perhaps expecting. We could have been starting like 10 minutes from now, if not for it just working right away. I didn't have to futz with it past the point where I said, okay, time to restart and update, and just hope for the best, and good outcome. It's all working now. I think we're good. No worries. Yeah. Anyway, I'll say, let me start by saying my experience with the games tonight. 1080-degree snowboarding, never played it. Not even in a illicit way, I never tried it. I never looked down. With the Nintendo 64 games, it's weird because there's totally enough of them where you can look down a big list on, let's say, some sort of website and go like, are there any N64 games I really want to try? And, try all of them at one point or another. But I never tried this one. For some reason, snowboarding never really struck my fancy. I will say I do like, I have played a couple of snowboarding games. There's Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, which has a snowboarding level that's pretty good. On the DS, I like that game a lot. There was also SSX for the 360. That was like the reboot of SSX. At the time, it had been a while since the previous SSX. Hey, Adam, how's it going? I played a lot of that game and really quite enjoyed it, and I think that's like the most I've enjoyed a snowboarding-focused game. But I will say, I expect to find this game to be quite... I hope it's still quite nice. I hope it's like a fun racing game. I like surfing, snowboarding, skateboarding games that are downhill and like speeds focused. That's fun to me. Let's get into this here. Let's try out SSX. Or what the fuck? 1080-degree snowboarding. I called it SSX. I hope none of this is DMCA. I hope this licensed sounding music is like of a quality where it's not gonna get flagged. Like maybe it's just one bar repeated or something. Who do we want to play as? Work your body, work your body. There's, let's see. Okay. Kensuke Kiyamachi. Kiyamachi. Let's see. It's kind of hard to compare their stats when they disappear when going left and right. Yeah, I guess you gotta remember. Dion Blaster has like a lot of max speed. That's pretty good. I think I like max speed. Haywood. Rob Haywood. Okay. I can fuck with that. Akari Hayami. A lot of balance. Not a lot of max speed, but good amount of jump, good amount of technique. This guy, Ricky Winterborn. A lot of technique, a lot of jump, and low on everything else. You think these are real people? These are some good names that they got. Dion Blaster. Rob Haywood. Winterborn. Ricky Winterborn. Let's see, how's the jump on Dion Blaster? A little low. I think Rob Haywood has the best balance of like stats, power, speed, etc. I think Rob Haywood. What do you think? I'm gonna Google right now. Are these guys real? Are these guys real or not? Rob Hay. What was the name again?
Fine then. What's up?
Rob Haywood. It's a playable character. It's not a good sign when you Google someone and they're described as a playable character. I get the impression that they are not an athlete. Not a real athlete. Okay. Confirmed. These are fictional characters. I like them though. They have good names.
Let's go.
Too good for reality, I suppose. Unless it's like a stage name. There's some people that have like some athletes that have like stage names, right? Well, wrestlers most especially, but like actual athletes, right? I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, let's see. Edge control, acceleration, response, stability. I think I want something really responsive. Generally, I would say response is really good. Wait, why wouldn't I just pick this? It has, like, max everything. Okay. I'm gonna pick the Tahoe 155. And, Goofy. I like Goofy.
Rob Haywood versus Ricky Winterborn.
Alright, I have no idea how to play. I'm holding forward. A is jump. You can use R and Z, do a little spinaroo. Okay. You can sort of like hold down the jump button to like get ready for it, you know? Crash if you're not too careful. Oh, I think R is just like a stance switcher. B seems to be a trick button. What the C buttons? Oh, C down is a camera. Look behind you. C up toggles between various points of view. Yeah. I died. We should check maybe the options or something. Hang on. Okay, give us like a... Okay, training. You know what? We should go through the training. Rob Hayward. This game has a tutorial. Let's see what it says. What? Half pipe or free? I guess free. Clean air is a B. Hello. So, a shifty Is is left and B? Weak is right and B. Okay, so it's simple, like Tony Hawk style combos. B plus a button. How do you get extra speed, though? Is there a manual in this, perhaps? Like, let's see. User guide, okay. Suspend menu, home menu, capture. That wasn't a very good user guide. Okay. I'm assuming that, like, right and left on the C aren't something if they all do menu stuff in this, in this, mode. So clearly there's nothing to teach us as far as, like, the C buttons go. Can I try the half pipe now? See what the half... Is it just like... Okay, yeah, it's just more tricks. I guess if you didn't play Tony Hawk, you might be confused about how to do tricks, but I'm more confused, like, what else is there in this game? They don't really have flip tricks in snowboarding because your feet are, like, attached to the thing, right? So that's not really a thing. Not really a concept. I think there were 2 trick buttons in SSX, though. Let's see, so there's air. Okay, so just, like, go downhill really fast. You can't do big flips by, like, holding down R and then spinning the stick. Let's try that, then. Okay, I really need more speed. What if I hold down the stick? Okay, yeah, you can, if you literally do like a spin the stick, you do like a twist in the air. Okay. Or anything else here that we need to know? These look like advanced things. Okay, I think we covered it. That's all it has to teach us is the moves. Let's try a match race again. Go with this guy and same board, and let's go. Match race. Let's do it.
Ready? Go!
Is there a reason why she is starting off so far ahead of us? Was there like a Mario Kart 1, 2, 3 thing going on? I can no longer see her. It's not good. Probably just a draw distance thing. There she is again. Okay. I gotta make sure to be landing cleanly. And, like, the direction you're holding while you jump affects your angle, so you can't be just, like, holding forward or else you're gonna topple over. You can see where she is on the thing on the right. Dang it. Try again, I guess. Oh, those are lives on the, those are lives on the lower left. Okay. Jeez. I did a jump and... So, are tricks, like, entirely pointless in this mode? Oh, jeez. More about just, like, steering and, I don't know, not stopping. In any case, there's like a easier mode perhaps we should maybe like get our feet wet in. Maybe that's the thing. Or we should try the character who has like max speed. It kind of seems like in this mode, especially speed would be the top stat rather than jump or technique or, you know, you name it. We survived, but we lost.
Rob Haywood versus Akari Hayame.
Let's switch the speed guy. Switch the speed guy, try again. Okay. Speed guy. Dion Blaster.
Alright, man.
I'll pick the one with maximum stats, and let's go.
Dion Blaster versus Akari Hayame. Ready? Go!
How does she push? Is there a button to push? Is it L? Is it like D-pad? What's the deal? Know how you get like a running start here. Seems important. That said, we're like catching up on her this time, so that's good. Yep. Fuck you. I like in SSX. There's the whole boost meter thing, where like as you do tricks, you get like a fun boost, and there's like rail grinding and like other things that, you know, wouldn't really be an actual like snowboarding. I think. I mean, I don't know if they do like sick grinds in the same way that like Tony Hawk does in real life. You know, even in Tony Hawk games, it's exaggerated. You know what I mean? It's not. They don't really like shred entire like pools or like go around a whole lap of like you know, banisters or whatever. Mostly they just grind for like 2 seconds, and it's cool and it's impressive for that 2 seconds. But in a video game, it's fun when you grind for like 10 minutes. So it's a little bit of a different thing. Well, maybe I have to tap forward or something. I'm trying to like hold R and do like a spin when I'd go off the ramp. Not doing it though. Maybe certain characters like can't do certain moves or something. I guess that would make sense. We have speed on our side, so maybe we could still catch up here. Go off course for a second. Looks like we're kind of neck and neck from this, the thing on the right. Can't actually see where she is, so that's fun. There she is. Fuck! Fuck yes. All right, good. We prevented her. No! Stop! How'd she get more speed off that exchange? I don't understand. There must be some button here that does like a little boosty boost. Okay, we're not gonna win one of these. We're not gonna win one of these, I don't think. Let's try a time attack and try a different mountain.
What's up? Let's go.
Actually, stick with Dion. Dion seemed to be good.
Yo, alright, man.
Try this one. And we did Crystal Lake a couple times. Let's try Golden Peach. Golden Peach. Looks nice. Golden Peach is a little bit more narrow. It's kind of fun. Okay, there could do the flippy, the rotation thing. Not sure why that didn't work previously, but it's possible. I'm not sure if I'm missing like nuance here, or if this is just, you know, how this sort of sports game was in the N64 era, you know? Like, man, it was just impressive in that time. Just go downhill really fast. And have a whole 3D environment that you're, like, shredding through. You know, maybe this was early enough where, like, that was enough, right? You didn't necessarily need to have, like, SSX levels of being a really good game. You know? This might have been the first. This might have been one of the first 3D snowboarding games. You know, historical context is important here. It's like when I recently, outside of N64 Online, I randomly tried out like Beetle Adventure Racing, which I had heard a thing or two about. You know, I remember seeing it in Nintendo Power and go like, oh, Beetle Adventure Racing. I think it's from the same people who made... Is it Beetle Adventure Racing also Rare? I forget. Anyway, it's either Rare or someone who made like a Mickey Mouse game that wasn't Rare. I forget how that ended up shaking out. I thought that was Rare. Hang on, was Beetle Adventure Racing Rare? But anyway, it was mostly a game where you just drove around through relatively nice environments. And that was about it. No, it was Paradigm Entertainment that did that. Didn't Rare do some racing game other than Diddy Kong Racing? Yeah, it doesn't really have a Rare vibe to it. I think... Did Paradigm Racing do like an Paradigm Simulation? What's it? Paradigm Entertainment. They did Beetle Adventure Racing and Pilot Wings, Duck Dodgers. Who did Mickey Mouse Racing? Mickey's Racing. Mickey's Speedway. That was Rare. Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Rare did Mickey's Speedway, which I don't think I played, but I suspect is another game where you just go around some tracks and it's just alright, you know? And maybe there's like 8 of them or something. And at the time, that was enough for a full release. Let's try another one of these courses. Looks like there are several that we have to, like, unlock by being good at the game. So that's interesting. I'll say these courses, they have atmosphere. The music is, like, good. You know, it's like licensed-ish. Probably about as good as you can do on the N64, given its hardware limitations. I don't think, you know, this must have been, like... I mean, I'm curious, like, when was this made? Can we see, like, information on the game? Maybe we can once we're done. Okay, you know what? Well, let's finish this thing. But I'm curious if this was before, like, Tony Hawk, or if this was after Tony Hawk. Because if this is after Tony Hawk, like, there's no reason to play this over Tony Hawk. Like, Tony Hawk just feels a lot better, has a lot more, like, in the way of nuance. And, like, you know, things to find. Like, these courses are rather barren compared to, like, how Tony Hawk does. And the gameplay is rather straightforward compared to, like, all the things you can consider at any time in Tony Hawk. You don't think Tony Hawk came to N64? There were Tony Hawk games on N64. I knew. I played those versions when I was a kid. They weren't... Oh, geez. There's, like, some slippery terrain stuff there. I know that they existed. They just weren't as, like, good as far as the music goes or anything. I think, like, gameplay-wise, they were comparable, roughly, with PlayStation. How you doing, Fauntleroy? This course is, like, has more variety, I think, than the previous ones I've tried here. Do you have any history with Avalanche? Either, or 1080? Yeah, the soundtracks, I think, were, like, pared down and made, like, a lot smaller. You know, where it... Fuck. It would basically be, like, a sample of the thing. You remember playing this at a friend's? I'll tell you, if anyone wants to join me for, like, try a 2-player versus, I'd be up for that. SSX Tricky, yeah, the SSX games. I played the SSX on 360, the reboot, and I really liked that. Really got way into that for you know, month or two after that game came out. That one, I think, is probably the best by a landslide, like, by landslide? Snow, what's it called when snow? Avalanche! It's called an avalanche! By an avalanche, let's say, haha. Best by an avalanche snowboarding game that I've seen. And also it had, like, you know, fucking dozens of courses, dozens of mountains. It was pretty amazing. SSS Tricky, how many mountains did it have? Did it just have, like, a normal amount, or was it even then, like, was it even then, like, pretty out there as far as, like, having tons and tons of, different courses for you to try? Eight tracks? Okay, that's reasonable. And that's pretty good. You know, SSX the reboot was just, you know... Did you play that, Fauntleroy? Did you play the SSX reboots? Where it was, like, dozens of mountains, and each mountain had, like, 2 to 4 different trails? I thought it was fantastic. I remember at the time, even, like, one thing that was great about it is it had a really great soundtrack. So, like, I remember, like, the vibes were immaculate, you know? Just in terms of, like, that licensed soundtrack. Almost as good as, say, a Tony Hawk, really. I remember, like, it had Houdini. I say these songs, I don't know if these songs are, like, are like well known outside of what am I supposed to do? There's not really enough time to do a trick. One of the best soundtracks, I think. At least one of the soundtracks that I think of. I'm not sure what's up with this timer, so are we like extending it by doing tricks? Kinda doesn't look like it. Oh, if you go through the gates, it gives you a time extension. Okay. That's, interesting, I suppose. You gotta know where they are, or else you're gonna die, though. There was Amp 3. Oh, yeah! I remember Amp 3. I never played Amp 3, but I remember the cutscenes being amazing. I did watch like a cutscene just compilation of that game, of Amped. Yeah. Great style. Yeah, totally. That was a very funny thing, and each chapter had like a different style, from like being like a action figures, like being stop motion animated, sort of like Kablam, versus like weird like collage scrapbook style animation. They got out there with some of the cutscenes in that thing. Definitely worth a look. I cannot vouch for the gameplay since I only watched a YouTube video of it, but it was a goddamn good YouTube video. I'll say that. Maybe I should check that out at some point. I don't know. Is Amp 3 backwards compatible? Is Amp 3 backwards compatible? Is Amp 3 backwards compatible? No. Probably due to licensing issues. That's a shame. I guess I would add that to the list of games I would want to do a stream of once I got like if ever I went and bought a original Xbox 360 that is working, you know, an actual original hardware thing to play, like Tony Hawk's Project 8, Blur, the racing game, and maybe a couple others. I think there was one other one that I saw that's on that list. Let me go. I have a list, like a private list on Backlogged. That is that. Let me see what it is that's on that list. Syndicate for the Xbox 360, that is now no longer backwards compatible. And the original Xbox Arcade, Catan. I like that version of Catan. That's a thing. Let me put on Amp 3. Eventually, I gotta get, like, a working 360 and have a stream where I play those games. They have a lot of licensed music, all those games, so that'll be weird, but hopefully it'll be fine. Whatever. I played through GTA 5 on stream, and, you know, other than a few streams being, like, tagged and flagged, and, one not being able to be played in Russia, it's fine. You know, not a big deal, all things considered. What's contest? I'm gonna try let's try contest. See what this is.
What's up? Let's go.
And then let's say one more attempt at like a oh, is this like a shalom thing? Where you go left and right? It's the other way. I was going the wrong direction. I gotta go in the direction of the flag. This is like a Salam situation. This is... I always thought, like, the Salam thing was a weird thing. I guess it's fun in reality, but I never thought it to be particularly fun in a video game to go left and right, you know, repeatedly. Kind of reminds me of, like, snaking from, like, Mario Kart, but, like, it doesn't actually make you go faster. It's just, like, a weird limitation in order to make, like, going downhill more of a challenge. Is shalamming, like, fun in real life? Maybe it's one of those things that, like, is fun in real life, but is less fun in a video game. I don't know. Do people enjoy shalamming, like, in real life or in video games? I'll say I think it is good that, like, SSX never, like, doesn't hang its hat. I don't know if shalam is, like, the term for it, but, like, when you have to go left and right around, like, alternating, like, flags or something, you know, like this. You see here with the red ones, you need to go to the left. With the blue ones, you need to go to the right. What is that called with the snowboarding flag thing? Shalamming. I know there's the game Shalom. Air Maze. Oh, hey, a new one. Snowboarding. Flags. Left and right. What are those called? What are the different colored flags on a ski slope means? Most winter sports enthusiasts have skied red, blue, or even black ski runs before. No, that's not right. That's not what it means. Those are difficulty levels. I don't know how to Google that. Wait. Snowboarding, in parentheses, shalom. Slalom. Okay. Salam. Yeah, that's it. Salam. Skiing. Skiing in a zigzag or wavy course between upright poles. Yes, that's the term. Confirmed. I'm not making shit up here. That is like a whole thing. Slalom. Slalom, yeah. Is it pronounced slalom? That probably makes more sense than what I was saying. What is this? Okay, that course is just a single jump. Slalom. 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 That's how it's pronounced? It's a weird word. You don't see many words that have, like... Well, I was about to say that have, like, an L after an S. But, like, slope? There's actually a lot of them, actually. Slalom. Okay, but like an L and then an A. L and then an A. It helps, though, that you don't end up going too fast. Gotcha, that makes sense for, like, reality. Right? Like, oh, you'd want to, like, not get out of control. But in a video game, it's fun to go fast. So, it's sort of... And it doesn't really matter if you, like, bail. Like, a lot of the fun is, like, you know, trying to go as fast as you can without bailing. So it ends up being like a... I guess like a thing that makes sense for reality more than Oh, wait a minute. You can hit Z to, like, duck. I bet that's a thing we probably should have been doing this whole time, huh? I've never done any sort of winter sport. You know, on account of living in Texas in where it doesn't snow ever, ever, ever. And also, I've never, like, traveled to, like, a snowy mountain. And, you know, wherein you could have, like, a snow adventure, you know? One of my cousins apparently moved out to a place where there's snowboarding, like, you know, a good chunk of the year. Apparently he's into that sort of thing. You know, he's like from New York, so maybe more accustomed to the snow stuff. Whereas I am from a flat, very flat area that is very hot. Very rarely snows, and if it does snow, it's a problem and you don't want to go outside. Your high school had ski trips back in the day? Oh, wow. Is that like a thing that like high schools and areas where there's snowing do? I remember like in Persona 4 Golden, there's like a ski trip in that. And I've certainly seen many like anime and other like media portray like a snowboarding tourist vacation thing. I'll say I have very bad balance and have never gotten the knack of like balancing on a skateboard. So snowboarding would be right out just by association. Maybe skiing wouldn't be bad though. I don't know. That's not so much balancing as it is like the equivalent of like inline skating, right? I had skates once. I think I have skated before. I think I biked more often, but you know, probably similar enough. You went to a public high school. It wasn't a weird public school thing, but in Pittsburgh, there's some slopes nearby. That's the thing. In Texas, there's no mountains. At the very least, no snowy mountains. And my area is like, you know, Great Plains. It's far afield from any sort of like elevation. Like you know, forget like snowboarding. When it snowed, there's no hill that you could go find and like you know, toboggan down or whatever, or like sled down. Like that wasn't a thing. There was nothing of the sort, even when it did snow when I was a kid. You know, I'd look at Calvin and Hobbes and go like, God damn, that seems cool. To be able to just like sled down a magically infinite hill and have philosophical talks as you go. Like that was a fantasy to me. Let's try this match race 2 more times. We're gonna try this match race 2 more times. I'm gonna play as Dion, and then after let's bounce to Harvest Moon. I'll say we could add in like other games that aren't the latest 3, and maybe I could even like I could even play like something from I don't know why sometimes he doesn't spin. I could even play some SNES games or something. There's been some relatively new SNES and NES games recently, hasn't there been? GB, Game Boy, you know? Options for tonight. I tried holding down R and like spinning the stick. Hello, Paul. How's it going? I feel like realizing that Z is like a duck down button is gonna help us a lot in winning this. Fuck. We're really close to dying. Dang it. We'll run out of lives. We'll do 3 tries here.
Dion Blaster versus Kensuke Kimachi.
As I think about it, it would be cool to check out some other, like, you know, Nintendo Switch Online games, if there were any that we haven't, like, checked out on stream. I think there have been, like, a number of like, relatively recent releases, haven't there been? God damn it. I don't like this as much as the song is letting on. How you doing, Paul? I'll say, on the topic of how I'm doing, I think I'm feeling better. I've been a little sick the last week and a half. Dang it. I've been a little sick the last week and a half. I don't know if it was COVID or something, but it was a pretty persistent flu type thing. And I think it is finally almost running its course here. You know, I'm not taking as much Dayquil or NyQuil recently, just like, you know, one set of each, like in the morning and in the evening. And I'm not coughing as much anymore. You're under the weather? That's too bad. Hope you feel better soon. And my throat hasn't been as sore. My head hasn't been as hurty. I think I'm doing better. I think by this time next week, it'll be all good and past. No idea what it is. What it was. What happened there. I guess I hope it was COVID, so then I would have, like, some resistance to it going forward, but, whatever it was mildly annoying and reasonably uncomfortable. Okay, that's enough, 1080-degree snowboarding. Now then, there's all these other games I've checked out before. They're older. There's two other games that are brand new. You have Force Gemini, which I did look at on a stream for Rare Replay. You know, checking out the Rare Replay games, going back and revisiting Rare Replay. So I have played it relatively recently, and that game is weird. I don't think it really succeeds at anything it tries, unfortunately. And there's also Harvest Moon 64, which is just a goddamn good game. Probably my favorite of the Harvest Moon franchise. So, how about we do that? I'll say, just change the stream information there. I'll say, I played a lot of this back in the day. I forget if I owned it or if I rented it, but this was the first time I played a farming simulation game. How's the volume right now, by the way? How about like 2 scotches down? There. Let's check out how to play. How about to start with? How to use tools. So you pull things out of your knapsack. Rucksack, yeah. Volume is good. All right. Here's inside green. Change tools. Move the cursor to the thing. Okay. We got that. Raising crops. We plow the fields. We plant the seeds. We water every day. What's 2 cultivation? Reclamation. What is that? That is like just plowing the fields? Ah, you gotta clear the land. Yeah, okay. I know how to do that. Raising crops to cultivate. You gotta plow the field. The B button will till the soil when you have the right tool equipped anyway. Then you plant the shit. You put down the seeds, you water, you do that enough times, you can harvest. What's 2 cultivation dog? You don't cultivate a dog. You can call the dog with the right C button. Not sure this is cultivation. You can pick up the dog and move around with it by pressing the A button. This was early days of tutorials. They were just figuring out how to do this stuff effectively. You don't have to feed the dog, but it'll be happy when you do. Okay, I think we got it. Horse, we get a horse. When do we get a horse? I always liked setting up, like, obstacle courses for the horse. You know, like, where you could just run across the field and he would jump over rocks. And like, oh, jump over a rock, jump over a rock, jump over a rock. Did anyone else do that? I thought it was a fun way to do the horse. When you have a crop, you can, like, drop off the crop into the horse's bags. Pretty cool. This is about as simple as a farming game can be, but it is very satisfying and very rewarding, and there's a little town as well that you can go out and do stuff in. You got like 4 whole files here. I'm gonna enter my actual name. Doesn't make sense to enter a internet name for a actual human character. My birthday? It's in May. That's spring, right? I'd almost consider it more like summer, though. It kind of is as hot as summer. But I think technically that is spring, so I will go spring. Not on the 17th, though, personally. Enter your ranch's name. What is our ranch's name? Let me think of something good. I've been playing Pizza Tower. Pizza Ranch. Sure. You actually don't get many characters for the name of the ranch. Only 6 characters. What's our dog's name? Jolt, like Jolteon? What's the other... What's a... Eevee? Does the chat have any ideas? Pipe up if you have an idea. Sonic? What else have I been up to? What's a good thing to pull from? Peppino? It doesn't really fit. Peppino. How about Mario? Tell you what, he'll be named Mario, but it'll be Mario. It'll be the Italian pronunciation of Mario. Sure. Our dog's name is Mario. Here's tomorrow's forecast. It'll be clear from the morning without a cloud in the sky. Oh, right, and there's all sorts of channels here. Planting Festival on the 8th. Local horse race on the 17th. Flower Festival 23rd. Are you having trouble with your fields? Turnips and potatoes are gone after the harvest, so you can grow a crop in the center after that. What? Oh, right, so there's some crops where, potatoes and turnips, huh? There are some crops that are solid, so you can't get to the center and harvest them without destroying it. Oh yeah, let's get a tour. That sounds like a good idea. Good way to like introduce us to the game here. You take this path, you head towards Moon Mountain and the Vineyard. That way it leads to Green Ranch. They'll teach you how to raise animals. Oh, and they're looking for someone to take their horse. Oh shit, free horse. So you should drop by before the end of spring. Yeah, we should drop by and get a free horse. That's the florist. They sell vegetables and grass seeds, and they can tell you what to do. Hello, visit Florist Lilia, flowers and vegetables. If you're wondering, like, romantically, how I approached, this game, what's up with that, building in the background? That's weird. The children's church, they study there. Okay, that's not what you do in a church, but go ahead. That's the bar. I like the vineyard lady. The vineyard girl. That was my, the one of the 5 or whatever that I was, that I fancied. Or, you know, selected as my romantic option. Tool and craft shop. You can buy farm tools and sundries. Do I start with most of it, though? Because I do need to till and, like, get rid of stuff. The bakery has a good reputation. Doesn't make a difference whether it's good or bad. I can't taste shit. Well, in real life, I can taste... I don't mean to make that sound like, I still have good sense of smell and stuff after sickness, so, you know, if it was COVID, it didn't do that to me. Yeah, I can still smell things for sure. Smelling the hand soap that I had that's on my hand. Yeah, smells like the hand soap. Just checking, you know. But I can't taste anything in the game on account of it's a game. I'm being silly. That's not really a real concern. You know, when I play Like a Dragon Yakuza games, I like to run around and taste all the tasty looking dishes, even though all it is just like here you go and like, oh my, you know, he says it tastes good, and it shows a picture that looks good, and you go, oh, I could go with that. All right, that's pretty straightforward. A little bit of a town. You know, I don't think I've ever done Stardew Valley on stream. That might be a good one, honestly, to do on stream sometime. And probably, like, better than this. Even if, the nostalgia is, like, pulling for this one hard. Stardew Valley is, like, the best version anyone has ever done of, like, a farming simulation game. That's the guy who, like, takes our goods from the box. The selling stuff box. Yeah. Well, see ya, dude. Was that all of the first day, or what time is it? Clocks. What is it, like, 7 p.m., a.m.? I'm not sure. That said, hey, I have, a hammer. Let me go ahead and start hammering some stuff. Clearing the field of junk. First thing you have to do is clear the field of all this junk. It's also in Stardew. Though in Stardew it's... I forget if this game is the same way, but in Stardew, all the junk, like, comes back at the end of the year. Like, after you complete a year, there's, like, a fresh, helping of junk and stuff This feels good. I mean, I know I'm just walking around and lining up and then hitting rocks with a hammer, but it's intuitive. It's nice and grid-based, and the field is large and nice to make space in. Maybe it could have some more modern touches like some sort of quick select or, a way to equip like multiple things at once so you don't have to go into a menu so much. But that just was the time it was, Not sure like what's the phase where we can no longer do any more work, but we're probably getting close to it. Okay, it must have been 7 a.m. because now it's apparently nearly 5, so real late in the day, I suppose. We're gonna want to get some crops planted. Pretty soon. Keep thinking that like B is going to equip it to the B slot, but it's not like a Zelda type thing. Okay, I think I'm at my limit now. 300. Yeah, totally at my limit. Hey, dog. I'm gonna guess that I'm too late to go shopping, right? Okay, so the library closes at 5. What about the Rick's souvenir shop? There's the bakery. There's the church where the children study. Flower Lilia, 9 to 5. Okay, so I think tomorrow we should go like right away to go shopping and buy some seeds and stuff. We've cleared up like an okay slot, an okay like portion of the land. How do I box it? Okay. I can hit up to put things into my backpack. I don't think we want weeds, but we should pick up some other stuff and, take it to be sold. Do some foraging to, like, earn some quick cash. It's like midnight. Time flies. We might just, conk out any second now. I think if you push yourself, you end up maybe, like, missing a day in some cases. We can sell things tomorrow morning, so let's do that. It's like 1 a.m. Writing diary and sleep. Let's go. Always a morning meal of like a handful of rice balls. All right. There's not like a quick, give me the next thing to sell button, is there? Oh, maybe you can't sell the flowers. seemed like those flowers just dropped on the ground. Not ideal. Okay, yeah, you can't sell those. Hello, dog. I love you. Okay, let's go buy some seeds and stuff. There'd be a way to take stuff out without going into the menu. So there's the drugstore. Okay, so the flower. Hello, mailman. Harris. Nice to meet you. We have many kinds of flower and vegetable seeds. You can see she has a heart. She has a love interest. That is her thing. Talk to her mother about seeds and stuff. Grass seeds. Ooh, wow. Okay, I have enough to buy one of those. I have to choose between the potato and the grass for now, the turnip. I'll get the turnip seeds. Have a nice quick turnaround here. And hopefully we'll, you know, see harvesting by the end of the stream. I think that'd be a good, that'd be good. I am missing a bit. I didn't realize the grid was, like, so obvious. Pronounced. Like, you can see the grid squares even when it's not tilled. I wonder if that's just a little bit of a rendering issue, or if that's normal. Oh, right, yeah, you can move rocks around if you feel like. I guess I'll say it's probably a good idea not to destroy all your rocks then, because you might want to use them to, in lieu of, like, wooden fences, which cost money. So is this like a 1-by-1 situation? Oh crap, it's like a... Fuck. It's like an AoE where you're centered. Damn it, I just wasted some seeds there. It's good to know you're getting good value at least, I guess. All right. We have enough for another thing of plants, though, so... Let's get another thing of those tomorrow, then. The days in this go by really quickly, huh? Like, it seems like there's barely enough time to go to the store, buy a thing, plant some seeds, before, before you have to, like, be rushing to sleep. All right. Water our first crops over here. Eventually, you do get upgraded tools that can do things more efficiently than watering like one by one. And, you know, that's always good. You always want to get... You always want that. Is this way to the ranch? Yeah. Let's see if we can get our horse. Here you have a free horse. I heard you were giving away a horse. Okay, let's see. What about through here? Anne must be one of the love interests. I heard y'all were giving away a horse. That'll be Anne. Cliff is hard to please. Do you like horses? Yes, I want a free one. Are you listening? Wait here a minute. What about him? Reflexes are quick, seems good. I don't think so. We want you to enter in the local horse race. We'll give you Cliff. Cliff's brother. Gumby looking horse. Alright, free horse. There we go. Apparently we're entered in a race. What's Gumby's friend horse's name? Gumby's... Gumby horse. Who was Gumby's horse? Pokey. Sure. Fuck it, Gumby is a better name. We're gonna name it Gumby. Pokey, that's Earthbound to me. Trusted my gut here. Gumby. Never watched Gumby as a kid. Seemed like, I don't know, not as good as the things that were else on. You know, didn't really, like, hold up to competition. You know, both in terms of, like, the modern shows that there were and, like, you know, there's a handful of older shows that had, were still good. Like, say, for sake of example, Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes age holds up, I think. At least it did back in my day, I don't know. Maybe kids these days, they watch Looney Tunes and they go, what the fuck is this? It's not as funny. Quite possible. Let's try the potatoes. Some potatoes going. And we know that the potatoes can be, like, harvested from the outside, so that's good. Okay. You know, I was a little, like, confused about the whole, like, Siege just doing a grid thing automatically. You know, it's kind of nice in Stardew where you can just, you don't have to worry about such things, right? Or such waste. You can just, buy the specific seeds for the specific plots that you're looking for, and that be it. But it is kind of convenient being able to do everything at once. You know, to do a whole thing at once. This game is nicely streamlined in ways that, like, the GameCube one could have learned from. I'll say I really wasn't into the GameCube one. Wonderful Life. I bought that one and was just really underwhelmed. It felt like, oh, the 3D, it's now in 3D properly and stuff, but for reasons that's not as good as, I didn't mean to eat it, but that's fine. Can I eat the flower? I'm confused. What? Okay, I thought I hit the same buttons, but whatever. I forget about the bridge. What's the situation with the bridge? Is there like a map? I guess there's not like other buttons I can hit to pull up a map. Say about all work and no play. It's good to have a hobby. How about fishing? Okay, I'll take a fishing rod, but I'm probably not gonna fish. Okay. You know what? We'll try it. Why not? I'd really like to go and meet, Okay, so we hold it down, and when we get a bite, we release. Great! It's like midnight now, so we should probably get going. Well, it's like 8 p.m. Oh, here's the ranch. Here's gonna be like the vinery, the vineyard. I'll say this game, I think, has a smaller cast than Stardew Valley. That might be the one thing that I prefer in this to Stardew Valley, right? The fact that there's just 5 romance options and you can just go meet them all right away. It doesn't take that much time. That said, of course, you know, in Stardew Valley, you can romance, like, this was before there was such a thing as homosexuality, you know? People hadn't realized at this time that it was a real thing that they should put in games. I say that you know, I'm kidding around. I'm joking here. Of course, homosexuality existed, but games didn't really support it. Weren't really into it at that time. It was kind of weird, all things considered. You know, it was just a thing that didn't exist in games. Like, what was the first romantic, what was the first game that had, like, a gay romance option? I guess it was, you know, you could probably look back and go like, there was plenty of like, Bishoujo games that had, like, a gay route. Or, you know, entirely gay, you know, didn't have a heterosexual route even. I'm more thinking like this case where this sort of thing where you would have like you know, a number of girls to romance, and you're just a guy. I guess also for what it's worth, this game would not was also before they like regularly gave you the option of choosing like whether you wanted to be a guy or a girl. Which, kind of also goes with that, I suppose. An advantage of having, like, not having that, though, is that they only kind of have to flesh out, like, 5 characters. You know, None of the guys have to be anything more than, I'm the mayor. I'm a weirdo. Look at me and my, like, my funny outfit. Jeez, that's just some very, like, 90s style anime hair, come to think of it. Where it's just, like, bangs. Like, special augmentation on, like, the front... on, like the very front part of the hair. You know, like, think Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, like, any number of other animes that had the same style. You don't see that quite as much these days, I think. Like, that's not really the preeminent way to do anime hair. That's Karen. She is a ungrateful daughter, but I think that makes her cool. She's cooler than a lot of the other options we have available. I think she's definitely the coolest one. Did she go off to the bridge or into the woods, or where did she go? I don't know where she went, but let's see if we can find her real fast. Say hello. In Stardew, I was never the one to, like, actually seek out a romantic doodad, you know? To actually go through the process of, like, getting my relationships up with various people. Instead, I just sort of, like, focused on my farming and my mining and the other things you do in that game. I thought this mine thing was cool. Though, in retrospect, it's a lot more repetitive and, like, tedious than, say... When Stardew replaced the thing where you would just, like, go, okay, I'm gonna till... I'm just looking for resources, and maybe I'll randomly get, like, some gold or something. And it's just a big square room that you try mining in repeatedly. When they replaced that with, like, a dungeon that has, like, combat and, you know, randomized layouts, that was really fucking smart. I think that's one of the smartest things that Stardew did. In addition to, like, the whole crafting system and how that made, like, even obscure, weird resources, like, worth collecting and, you know, having. Yeah. So there's this girl who's like, you know... Here. Have a flower. She's sort of like the girly girl, you know? Girly girl type, young girl type, I think, you know? In a sense, I would reckon. I'm just basing that off her appearance, though. I cannot remember, like, what her vibes were besides that. I wonder where Cool Girl went. Well, she's not at her home. There's Cool Girl. There's Ranch Girl with the horse and the brother. Who else is there in this game? Again, I think Karen was always my pick, but you know, I'll respect anyone who picked otherwise, you know. Maybe you had a reason. Maybe you were like maybe you like the other types. Guess this is the courtyard. Entrance to the horse racetrack. I guess horse girl did give us a horse, so that is a pretty good leg up above like the competition as far as like these things go. You know, most people don't give us horses. But eventually, if you courted them, you could marry them, and then you would have like a child with them. That was pretty basic, and I think, you know, just like a little baby that never grew. And I think also, what's an album? These are like achievement images, I guess. Estimates. Tool notes. You should play games for 1 hour every day. Well, an hour is like a minute, so, you know. Nice, that's good. Rain is good for us. Festival is tomorrow. Okay, we will absolutely go to that. What were the love interests? Hang on, I'm gonna Google Harvest Moon 64 love interests. Bachelorettes is what fandom describes them as. Let's see. For each bachelorette, there is a corresponding villager that will act as your competition for courting her. As both the rival and the bachelorette's affection is increased, they will become interested in each other. This can create a balancing situation where the rival's affection is kept at a certain level to avoid triggering a marriage between the two, though a rival will usually not marry a bachelorette very quickly if you are still single. So, you know, you can hold off a little bit. Anne will marry Cliff. Cliff was the brother. Let me see. So there's Anne, who... Which one is Anne? Anne, Karen, Potpourri, Maria, and Eli. Or Ellie. Anne is the Green Rancher. Okay. Karen is the cool girl. I like her best of the 5, I think. Potpourri is the pink-haired girl. Maria is like a mousy-looking girl. Shy girl. I don't remember her like at all, but, you know, a game, you know, look, that's a type of girl that needs to be in this game. Yeah, a little mousy, intellectual. Eli lives at the bakery with her grandmother. Ah, okay. She is a talented chef and loves cooking and food. She is a little insecure about her weight. Sort of gives me like a motherly type vibe. I'm not sure like what else her deal is other than she's a little bit dumpy. I guess I'm sort of picturing like the Weasley mother when I'm picturing her just based on that description. Maria is the bookish one. Potpourri. Let's see what it says about her. You know, this wiki doesn't really talk that much about her personality. She is the peppiest of the bachelorettes. She's a little childless and naive. I guess that's it as far as, like, how fleshed out as characters she is. What about Eli? Does Eli have anything else going for her? She's a talented chef, and she loves cooking and food. I guess that's her personality. Karen is the cool girl. She's the cool girl. She is rebellious. She wants to move to the city. Very nice. That's probably a good idea. Anne's sort of a tomboy. Gotcha, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. I think I understand the 5 romance options. I would choose the one who's like the little bit of the rebel among them. Wasn't it gonna rain today? Okay, tomorrow is the harvest festival thing. All right. Ooh. I wonder how much of this was like in place by the time of the SNES Harvest Moon, which, for what it's worth, is also on SNES Online. We could boot that up for like a bit and just have a look, because I've never played that, and I am a little bit curious like how much of this was in place. Hey buddy. Was in place at that time. Maybe not like a whole, you know, couple hours worth of that, let's say. We could do a little bit of that towards the end here. I'd be curious. Maybe like a 10, 20 minutes of that. After, say, harvesting. Let's aim to harvest these. And you know what? We can just, like, get some time to pass if we just want to, like, rush it or anything. Okay. I have no idea where Karen went, but we can probably say hello to some of the other girls that we haven't seen before. Like, here's Bakery Girl. Wait, no. You're not Bakery Girl. You're, blonde hair girl. Pink hair girl. Yeah, where's Ellie? Yeah, where's your daughter? Cheers. Maybe she's in church studying. Apparently church is where you study. Hey, father. I'm gonna say minister. I don't know the words for clergy, generally. Well, I guess we can meet them at the big event. Hey, May. Cute little girl. I'm Rick. Nice to meet you. Okay, so he's a dude. Welcome to Flutterbud Village. Oh, you're the grandkid from Pizza Farm? So you're gonna run the farm, eh? That means you'll be a customer. Nice to meet you. Who is this? I don't know who that is, but it's not a love interest. Maybe it's like little girl's sister or something. Old man, probably runs a forge or something. There's Rick's. Maybe that was Rick. I don't know. Who can say? Okay, here's a bookworm girl. She is the receptionist at the library. Her name is Maria. Nice to meet you. It's possible I never met Maria or realized she was a love interest, because I have, like, 0 memories of ever setting foot in the library or seeing her. Cat! That's right. Grandson, that's right. Hey, cat. Cool cat. Look at this, another dog. Nice dog. Wait, many maternity books? Okay, I guess this is like the half-wife? No, that's not what it's called. Midwife. Must be the midwife. I don't think we've ridden our horse yet. We should probably ride our horse. Let me do that thing that I did as a kid and set up like an obstacle course for our horse. This doesn't really make that much sense, actually. I don't have enough space to like set up anything really elaborate, but at the very least, here's some rocks for the horse to jump over and run through here. Jump over this. Usually I would have cleared out this whole swath of field for my horse to have a little course to run around in. But, you know, we're in the middle of a stream here. That probably wouldn't happen for like a day or so, you know? Horsey. When can I ride the horse? Actually, I guess you can't ride the horse until it's grown. Do you need to feed the horse? Of course, eventually you'll get animals and you'll feed them or let them out to graze every day. And that'll be a whole thing. Make sure you don't leave them outside on the first day of winter. That's just a pro tip that I saw people talking about, you know, on the internet. They'll die. So you can't sell these flowers, but you can sell this weird grass. Some of this weird grass. Flowers, though, worthless. Get out of here. Alright, tomorrow's the big festival thing. Let's do that, and, maybe we can, like, let some time pass until we harvest our crops. You could just... Oh, hey. Ah! We saved, right? I'm gonna do a quick save state just to be safe, but let's reset and actually get that goddamn turnip. That's money. I need money. I need that money. Push the start. Alright, let's just check and see that our turnip is there. There we go. Okay, yeah, it had saved. I wish there was a way to remove save states from N64 Online. I get worried sometimes that I'm gonna, like, accidentally, resume a state from far, far in the past. It's all watered. I guess it rained overnight or something. Pretty sick, though. Is there a better way to do this? Can I, like... Ah! R and Z, they rotate the camera. Wow. Or R and L do. That's pretty neat. Don't ever change it, though. No, this is the way the game was meant to be seen. At this exact angle. You do any other angle, you're messing with things that ought not to be messed with. I'll tell you. No. Absolutely not. Do not change the angle. Sin. Like, imagine playing the game like this. Oh, God. That's weird. Backside of everything now. Okay, good. Okay, you can only rotate your farm. Everything else is static. The town cannot be rotated. See? Nothing. Alright, it's party time. This year's king is the potion shop dealer. Please show your seeds or whatever. Okay, so I guess this festival, they ride a hot air balloon up and they sow some seeds from high up. That's kind of, yeah, sure. I don't think these things are that elaborate in this. Maybe there's like a shop, you talk to all the people, you'd be like, hey, yes, I understand how this works. Each person probably has 2 lines, it would seem. The king rides in the balloons and sows the flower seeds. Here's, the other love interest. I put in a nut seed, too. That's a secret. Love interest 1, love interest 2. We've now met her. It's third one. Fourth one. It's kind of a girl thing, this festival. Is it? Sowing seeds? I don't think so. That's kind of a dude thing as well. Farmers, a lot of farmers are dudes. I wouldn't necessarily call it a chick affair, you know? Maybe that's just her way of, you know, doing her character of, like, being the tomboy. Is that she says, like, oh, this is kind of for chicks, isn't it? And, you know, she feels weird about being one of them, I guess, is the idea. I don't know. I feel like characters like that are better written now than they were then. Where's Rebellious Girl? Looks like Rebellious Girl didn't attend. What else do you have to say? Hope flower sprouts. Kind of a girl thing this festival. Along with the flower seeds I put in. Some grass seeds. I hope it reaches your farm. Oh, okay. It's like flower seeds. Okay, well. I could see that then. Yeah, if it's like for flowers. Flowers are typically are associated with the fairer sex, you know. There is an association there. Wish flowers could blossom in the water and on the clouds. Yeah, I get the feeling she is a naive one. Yes. Purpose is to give the earth a breath of spring. Okay. Okay, I think we talked to just about everyone here. Wait, what? The florist dealer? Who's the florist dealer? Sure, let him fly. I guess she's the floor stealer. Yay! Right, because pink hair is the florist's daughter, so pink hair mother would be the florist. Then. Today was a good day. And I'm gonna have a good sleep. A good sleep was had. How much money did we... Ah! Fucking set this right. We made good money, jeez. Let's see, what do we want to do with this? Well, now we have a conundrum where we can't water the innermost plant, despite it being possible to harvest it. We can't reach it and water it. Can we go upgrade our water can real fast? Going for probably like an hour or so on this game. Probably about a good time to see another game. Also. Meet what's her face in her natural environment. Yes, okay, hey. Close Mondays and holidays too. Rest when you're tired. She doesn't have that much to say. You know, I guess in these cases, they're not, like, introducing themselves if you've already, like, talked to them at some point. They're just saying, hello, how you doing? You can do stuff here. Why would you want grass? That I don't understand. I guess for animals, it's for, like, animal feed, probably. In which case, it'll save you money on your animal stuff. Oh, wow, that's expensive, and also I don't need it. Okay, so there's... wasn't that the tool shop? I thought that was the tool shop. So is there any way to get, like, an upgraded, tool? The artisan, I make souvenirs. Okay, so not, like, upgraded items or something. If it is an upgrade system, then we probably need to do mining before we can upgrade our stuff or something like that. It's gonna be a whole thing. Greenhouses were a thing. You get like a greenhouse. Like late game in this. Let's buy some more seeds then, fuck it. You know what, we'll just, how do I get to, where is it? Right here. I'm gonna buy some, cabbage seeds. 3 of them. Perfect. Okay, let's run up and say hello to, see if we can maybe run into Rebellious Girl again. If we go up this way. Hello, Vineyard Guy Kai. I think he's like your romantic rival for, What's-Her-Face. She will get married to him if left to her own devices. Which is kind of weird. She wants to move to the city, but she ends up falling in love with the guy who literally works on her ranch. That's weird. You think as the rebellious character, to fall in love with someone who's like a little more urbane, you know? But instead, she falls in love with the one who's like most closely aligned with the occupation that she is, the area of the map that she hangs out on and lives at. I guess it's simpler that way than to say like, oh, she gets married to the mailman, you know, or something else that's just like off the wall. You know, you can wonder like, oh, you know the mailman? Okay. Or this guy here. Guy in a headband and like sort of a gi type get up, you know. Let's see if we can plant these seeds, get them watered, and maybe look to move on shortly. There is still the horse race in like a couple of days. Not sure if that would be worth like fast forwarding to. We could just take it easy for a bit and just focus on the farm and then like go to bed like right away. You know, that is always a thing you can do in games such as this to make time go by faster. I'm plowing the middle, but it seems to me like the middle will be a waste anyway, so let's just leave this one unplowed. As you get tools, you charge them up, and they do like multiple areas. You know, they can do like a whole line of 3 or a whole square grid in one solid go. Especially handy for like the watering, where you know, right now you literally can't hit the middle because you don't have the range. Once you do have the range, you can actually do that. I'm gonna focus on the edges, even if I might not have enough energy to do every square anyway. So I might as well pick my battles, and specifically pick battles that I can win. Squares I can harvest. Okay, I think I can do this. Yes. Just enough. It's getting light. Bed, bed. Go to bed. No! Oh, wait, what? I thought I was gonna be, like, exhausted or something. Okay. I guess there's no consequence for, like, staying up all night. That's, oh, well, I seem to have started winded. That might be the consequence, I suppose. I might be able to do less today. Yeah, I'm getting really tired really quickly. I think in Stardew, if you fuck this up, you just literally, like, miss a day. And it just goes like, yeah, you were in bed all day today. You weren't able to get anything done as a result. Oh, that square is still wet. Maybe because I watered it like really close to the day line. So maybe it didn't like do any growing. Okay. Let's go to sleep then. Here's an idea. Mars forecast is good. Held this month. When? When is the local horse race? It's not on the fucking calendar. Let me Google. I thought it was like the 17th or something. Harvest. Mood 64. Horse race. When is that? 17th. Okay, yeah. 17th it is. How about we sort of let time pass relatively quickly. Just do a couple of bunch of days where we just literally water our plants, sell our shit, and move on to the next day. And we end on ooh, hey. Potatoes. We end on the thing. The horse race. We don't need to like buy a saddle for that, do we? Let me check if it says anything on this wiki page. If the player's horse is fully grown, how does the horse grow? It'll take a total of 1 season for the colt to grow into a horse. 20 days. Okay, well, it's not going to be ready for that, so... Yeah, I think we're, that's a non-issue then. That's not going to happen. I'm going to water these one more time. Let's just spend one more day in this world. Talk to some more characters. Do some more foraging. See if there's any last things we can, like, experience real fast before, going on to another game. I'm thinking I would like to just look at, Harvest Moon for the SNES, which is also on... Which is on, SNES Online. Real quickly. Not an elaborate look, but just like a quick look at that, and then we'll, Force Gemini. And then let's say Force Gemini is, another game to look at. Probably not, like, too extensively, but, we'll see. Dog, 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 dog. You are good. You know what? I have a berry for you, dog. Jeez, it's already time for the delivery. Yeah, it's potatoes. 700. Good haul. I said I was gonna do some stuff today, but, it's already fucking nighttime by the time that I'm, like, finished doing farm stuff. I guess you should also consider in this game saving your farm stuff for, like, the evening. Like, after you've gone to town and, like, bought stuff. Let's just do one more day here. I said today would be the last day, but it ended up passing before I knew it, so you know, that's not exactly satisfying now, is it? Let's go get some stuff then. I don't know. I got money. I should spend it. But on what? Friday. It's like 6, so gonna be like an hour or so till they open. So there's just like the mountain, there's the ranch, there's the... Not that many places, I guess. You know, compared to other games in the genres, compared to Stardew, with its like more extensive wilderness areas and the beach and other type event zones, but I don't know, I think there's something charming about its simplicity and like how straightforward it is. And you know, this is, until Stardew, I do believe this was like the... I do think these were like this one is like the best version of what this could be, right? Just straightforward, simple. You farm, you can romance, you can woo. There's like a couple of events. You can't go wrong with anything what's here. The only note that I would say is that inventory management is pretty clunky, especially compared to more modern games. And boy howdy, it seems like a day just passes before you know it. I would say it'd be nice if there was more time in a day to do things, you know? That, and I do, you know, there is some question of like, well, how do you know like where to find the next level of like, you know, how do I destroy this? I want to just plant my new shit here. I'll have to deal with this. Axe, maybe? Scythe? There we go. I still think this is a hell of a game. And I think if you haven't played, like, well, I don't think that this would, I don't think that this stands up to Stardew for what it's worth. You know, I don't think that anyone would ever say, like, ah, play this instead of Stardew Valley. Like, yeah, I'd probably just stick with Stardew if you got that, but this is on N64 Online, and it is, like, the original one of these that was really good, and people liked it. See if we can find Cool Girl. Maybe go into the woods? Where would she hang out, Cool Girl? If she pines for the city, surely she would not hang out in the woods, right? Like, that'd be the last place where you would expect to find Cool Girl who likes, city life and aspires to not be in the mountainside. Okay, yeah, we missed. How about one more day where we do some socializing and find some people to talk to? And then we'll water our plants one more time because we can't. I can't not water my plants. Maybe I should have focused on these plants. I might have too many plants to water now. Why you need the pail upgrades? Because, like, manually watering, 100 plants is gonna sap your energy, and it's gonna sap your time. Jeez. I liked how in Stardew there was the whole, like, there was, like, the hot spring where you could go and get your energy back. That was, really nice. It's not midnight yet. Good. I forget if there's anything like that in here. I would guess not. I mean, we've basically seen all of the town. And unless there's, like, buildings that grow over time. I say grow. That are built over time. Like, added to the... thing. Fuck. We've basically seen everything that there is here to see. Dang it. One square there, unwatered. Ain't that a load of shit? Okay. One more night, one more day. Let's socialize here in the morning. Unless there's, like, crops to harvest right now. Nah, they're gonna be a while. Okay. Hello, dog, 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 dog. Here's another berry for you, dog. And, let's go up this way. I don't know. See if Cool Girl is here. I get that she ran out in a huff. Like 4 days ago. Like a week ago. But, where's she at? I need to say hello. And, like, try to get to know. I feel like she's on the mountain somewhere. No, I really don't need anything. That's Karen's room. Okay. You have one room in the house. Normal. Let me Google real fast. Where is Karen? Harvest. Moon. 64. Okay, locations. Vineyard. Inside the wine cellar if it's raining or snowing. In front of the carpenter's house. On the at the beach or at the bar. Most evenings. Oh, at the bar. That makes sense. And at the beach on Sundays. Where's the beach? Wait, what? The beach? Where's the beach? Oh, if the player chooses not to marry Karen and does not befriend her, she will leave the village anytime after year 2, winter 1. Okay, shit. That's, sure, that makes sense. I'm happy for her if that's how it goes for her, you know? It does sound like she's wanted to leave for a long time, and, yeah, you should leave you should leave your small town if you're not interested in living in a small town. That, just makes sense. I like the place that I live, you know, the suburbs, so I probably not leave. But I can sympathize with those who end up doing so. Open from 6 p.m. to midnight. Okay, let's go there. Let's go there in the evening time. We got 6 hours until then. Let's water our plants. That'll take 6 hours. Okay. Still a bit of a cough, but it's almost more of a regular cough. Not so much like a really painful cough, I'll say. You know, and my throat isn't really that sore even right now. Feeling better. On the whole, you know? It's nearly time. Time flies when a day is like 5 minutes. Okay, let's go. We didn't finish our watering, but whatever. I feel like we probably bit off a few too many fruits than we can chew. Like, maybe you want to have, like, 4 plots until such time as you upgrade your shit. Okay, here's the bar. I'm the new owner, that's right. That's the bakery guy. Feel like I've been down by the bakery on occasion. Here at the farm, haha, sorry for laughing, well, whatever, good luck. Who are you? I'm busy. Fuck off. You don't look familiar. Where are you from? Well, it doesn't matter. You'll be gone soon anyway. Wait. Look at the menu. What happens if I give her this wild berry? Does she like wild berries? She's from a vineyard, so maybe not so much. Yeah, I love this. I'm so happy. Okay. Don't talk to me so much. Okay. But if you give her a berry, she's like, oh my god, it's so good. I love it. A little bit of a, you know. Look, this was one of the first times that they ever did, like, this sort of thing. You know, I think we're done at the bar now. Well, actually, hang on. We should talk to a guy and maybe get a drink. This is the first time they did, like, romanceable characters like this. So we can get some liquor or milk or... I think I'm out of money. I have, like, 100 gold to my name, so... I don't think I ever, like, as a kid, went to the bar and drank any alcohol. I think that never occurred to me as a thing I could use my money on. Also, it's like a silly thing, you know? It's not like, actually gonna do anything for you, is it? It's kind of better to do things that, are productive. Anywho. I'm gonna finish watering my plants at fucking midnight. Too many plants, too much watering. I have planted too many things, I know. Lesson learned. Stay humble. That is it for Harvest Moon 64. Lovely game. Obviously, it doesn't stand up to the likes of, these are starting to look like cabbages, but they're not like harvestable quite yet. Obviously, it doesn't quite stand up to the likes of Stardew Valley. It's a lot more basic, simplistic, but it has a lot of what you like in that game, and, you know, it is a accomplishment of Stardew to take this basic formula and, like, flesh it out in a way that no other successor to Harvest Moon was able to do very well at all. I say, having played one of them, and not really liking it very much. Like, just crafting, all the systems that Stardew Valley perfected, the basic form of them are here. Like, there's upgradable items, there's various crops for each season with various, like, trade-offs. You know, there's animals, there's romance, there's gift giving that can build into a relationship, etc., etc. It's all really good. Let's, I'm gonna put down the N64 controller real fast and grab the SNES controller. Ugh. Let's check out the other one. I'm gonna plug this into my couch because it's totally out of battery. Let's check out Harvest Moon for the SNES because I am kind of curious. Like, obviously for me, I never played it, so I have like no nostalgia for it, and would generally say like, yeah, the N64 one is the one that you probably want, but I am sort of curious to look back real fast and see how much of that was there from the start. You know, this would be the original Harvest Moon. I'm gonna change the tag to be SNES Online. On Twitch. Not changing any of the YouTube information. Sorry, YouTube. It's, deal with it. First time. Add that, and, yeah, there we go. Let's go into SNES Online real fast and check out Harvest Moon, the original. Also, maybe if there's any other games that we want to check out on the SNES, that wouldn't be bad. It was on the SNES, right? Harvest Moon? Was it on the SNES? Was it on the NES? The first Harvest Moon? No, here it is. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of games on SNES Online that I've never played before. Like, just looking through a list real fast, I've never played Earthworm Jim, Star Fox 2, Star Fox, really. A lot of these games, like, in the rows below. Super Punch-Out. Seems weird. Demon's Crest. I could see having a bounce around type stream where I just played a bunch of these random games that I just have no exposure to. But for now, let's just open this real fast and just have a look at the original Harvest Moon. Were there any GBA or GB games added recently? just check that as well before we maybe end on Jet Force Gemini. Let's look to end on Jet Force Gemini. I don't think I have a file, so yeah, no diary. This is pretty straightforward how to play. I guess this one also had a tutorial. Oh wow, this looks just like Stardew. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, like Stardew is very much a homage to this sort of game, but like, it's almost uncanny, like the farm setup just gives me so much Stardew vibes. The perspective is the same as well. I mean, again, how could it not be? Okay, let's do it. Hello, you're the one who is supposed to work at this ranch today. What's your name? I'm gonna enter my actual name again. Don't worry about it, it's not a secret. Fuck you. 4 characters? Wow. My name is Toad. What the fuck? 4 characters is not enough in English. In Japanese, yeah, I can see why 4 characters would be enough. But, we need more than 4 to do, like, even the shortest of names. Most short names. 4 characters, Jesus Christ. There's cars in this one. I guess it's kind of weird that there's no cars in, any of the other games. Gotta, like, talk to the villagers here. Sort of RPG style. And the ranch. Was this one of the first, like, farm simulation games? It almost has more like an RPG vibe at this point. Early on. Which I guess it is kind of a role-playing game where you role-play the role of a farmer. So that sort of thing makes sense. You know, a thing I like about the other Harvest Moon is, you know, they give you a tour of the town, but other than that, it's more just like, she has a daughter, she's at the church. Okay, well, let's go meet your daughter then. I am definitely in the mood to meet a daughter. I'll meet as many daughters as you have. That's Maria. Nice meeting you. Maria was the bookworm character in the other game, right? With these sprites, it's kind of hard to get, like, the character or the personality out of them. In the last game, there were the portraits, right? When you were talking to people. That's smart. That lets you get a little bit of, like, anime drawing, you know, a little bit of personality for each person you're talking to. Gives you a little bit more of that, a little bit more of, like, a visual novel feel to it. There were portraits, right? I'm not, like, misremembering. That was, like, 5 minutes ago. Maybe not for every character, but, like, for the romantable options at least. I assume they only sell the fruits you can actually plant right now. That's Nina. Crops must be sowed during a certain season. Wonder how many of these are romantable. If this had the romance options, the previous, the the N64 game had. How many villagers do I have to meet? Okay, so there is the romance system in this. Good to know. I'll say, probably another romance. That's Anne. Nice to meet you. Probably another romance option. I'll say I have, like, no interest in, like, actually playing a good amount of this game, say, off stream after tonight. Nor the other Harvest Moon game either, honestly. Like, again, let's be real. If I wanted to play a farming game, I'd play Stardew. I just think it's fun to revisit and, you know, take it in. And, I say revisit. In the case of 64, revisit. In the case of this, like, come here for the first time, be like, oh, wow, look at this. Isn't this something? Bar. Come around and say, hello? Apparently he sells livestock or something. Is that enough of talking to people? I want to, like, do some farm work. Motherfucker. I've already been in here. That's the general store. That's a store I'll need to know. Did I talk to the priest? Mayor. Yeah, I already knew about that. There's the mansion. I've talked to everyone I can find. Did I go in this shack? Pretty sure I did. Yes, this was the fortune teller. Can I please go to my farm and do some farming now? Motherfucker, what do you mean? I've talked to everyone. There's no more. Like, if you want to give me a tour, give me a tour. Just like, you know, show me the places I need to see. But, just expecting me to find everyone to talk to, that's, sucks. Maybe there's people in the church we need to talk to. No, church is just her. Only one in the church is her. Yeah, I already talked to him, talked to those people, went into the buildings here. I see nothing. Talked to her. Did I go into this building? Yes, I did. That's the one where the guy... Wait, no. Okay, that guy told me about tools, so I think now I can go to my farm, right? If we can't go to the farm... You motherfucker! Someone in the mansion? Probably someone in the mansion we didn't find. Let's go. We talked to her. We went into the back rooms. There's just one room here. We've done everything here. We need to, like, read this note or something? No. Call inaudible. Okay. Okay. I don't know who it wants me to talk to, and I give up. Let's get out of here. That's enough of that. Well, I guess we can, like, just look at the how to play thing again and just look and see. Just look and see, like, oh, you know, looks like there's... You can watch this demo for a minute. That looks really cool. I like how Stardew it looks. And I guess it's clear looking at this that, like, Stardew takes more from this than from Harvest Moon 64, which is sort of a weird half step between this and, like, the fully 3D Harvest Moons that existed later. You know, personally, I would say, at least from my experience here, you're probably better off trying to play Harvest Moon 64 than this game, because it seems like it really, you know, makes you work for, like, getting to the Harvest Moon part of the game. Or at the very least, you have to talk to people, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know where they all are or what the fuck, but it's all screwy, and sure. You know, I have been doing, like, reviews for, like, Backlog recently, trying to, like, review every game I've ever played. I do wonder if there's, like, a line where I literally spent 5 minutes and couldn't get past the tutorial, like the first area. Do I write a review for this saying it's, like, 3 out of 5? Like, it seems like that a lot of what you want in a game like this was already here from the start, but, you know, probably stick with the... I mean, I can't say that. That's not how I believe reviews work. When you're reviewing an older game, you can't say, like, you should play the later games, because, that's ahistorical, you know? That's, those later games didn't exist at the time, you know? You can't say in a review of a game from the 90s that you should play Stardew instead. Like, it didn't exist at the time, man. Didn't exist. Wasn't even a thing. How weird that you have to, like, switch tools in the shed rather than, like, a menu. I guess that's an innovation they got later. But yeah, you make a little square like that. Let's see what happens if like, see if the seeds are like a, same as in 64. Yep, same as in 64, covers a 3x3 grid. That makes sense. Looks like you can only carry one bag of seeds at a time. I would hazard a guess 3 out of 5. If anything, just because of the tedium to, like, get into that. It seems like it's a little bit of a slow start, and also, the fact that it didn't have, like, items on the menu, that's kind of a hard sell for me, I think. You know, even if just looking at the time, there are games where you can switch things in start menus. Like, that was a whole thing back in the day, you know? You think of Mega Man, you know? Oh wow, he just tosses it into the thing from over a fence. That much is nice. Can you store things in a backpack and you know, ferry them, like, all at once? Or do you have to, like, manually run them all individually? Kinda looks like it's just the former. But at the very least, you can put them in your horse, so... That's a positive. And I suppose he has to, like, use the... He has to, like, sew one square at a time. Okay. That works. I could go as high as a 4 out of 5 for this. Just looking at it like this. Just with the context of, like, this was, like, the first of its kind. You know, first, like, farming simulator as such. Like, in that context, it's like, limitations seem just vaguely quaint, and, you know, it does have some things that are pretty cool, like, look, hey, upgraded weapons, or upgraded, tools. They were here from the start. You know, that's pretty key. Oh, and you can carry multiple seeds at once. Confirmed. Unless it's gonna be like, some sort of, like, double group situation. Okay, you can probably carry multiple tools at once as well. They're just being, trying to illustrate, step by step, how it all works. By being a little bit silly about it, like, I mean, like, okay, look at this tool. Oh, look at that, that's a faster way to do your watering. That's pretty cool. I mean, I think the upgraded, like, water pail from later games where it's, where you don't have to be in the middle of it, it's probably better. What the hell is that yellow thing? That's probably a bell. So you have a milking device. You can milk the guys. Get some milk. Oh, you have to push them in and then milk them. So do you have you can't, like, put things in your inventory then. I mean, as far as I know, there's no inventory. I think the lack of an inventory is like a fatal flaw that prevents this from being, like, near the level of the N64 one that has an inventory, even if it's a little bit of a clunky inventory, you know, compared to later games in the genre. I would say this maybe a 4 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5, depending on, like, how original this was at a time. I don't know if, like, there had been other games of this sort at the time that, you know, did the things that you would want games like this to do, right? If there wasn't, then it's probably like a 4 out of 5. If there was, it's maybe more like a 3. As for 64, I'm gonna say 5 out of 5. I think that game was as good as they come. As for SSX, or sorry, 1080 snowboarding, 2 out of 5. Didn't impress me, like, at all. That would be my snap takes on the 3 games that we played tonight. What was let me go backlogged real fast. I'm curious what I have Harvest Moon 64 put down as in backlogged, where I have, like, reviews of all the games I played. I assume I have Harvest Moon 64 in here because yeah, okay, I have it as a 5 out of 5. That is correct. That is the correct rating. So during the winter, there's no farming, but you can still, like, do gifts for everyone, as, you know, the demo shows. There's, like, a sauna. You know what? This is maybe like a 4 out of 5. I think for its time, you probably couldn't do much better, and I'm sure people were able to get past the first minutes of gameplay here. Let's play something else. Any SNES games that I want to play? Nothing really jumps out at me. Nothing really, like, catches my interest tonight. I think, though, wasn't there something new? Like, there was a new release relatively recently on, like, this or NES, and I don't remember what it was. Let me go to the NES Online real fast, see if there's something new there. Ah, yes. Yeah, there was some new NES games. I think it was... People were saying it's the first time some game that was in Japan originally has been released in America. And I'll look at that, sure. I don't know. Then let's check the GBAs, and we'll end on Force Gemini. How about? Oh wow, there've been a lot of games since the last time I played. Well, I have no fucking idea what any of these are. This is be the Devil Man game. Yeah, I think this is the Devil Man game, where it was like one of the first games that like Miyamoto and several other important people worked on. Um, Devil World. Devil... What's it called? Super Devil World? Uh, X for details. Devil World. Devil World. There it is. Took a while to show up on Twitch.com system. Also, let me change the tags. Sure, we'll look at this for like a minute. Changing the information on the stream. Okay. What the hell is Devil World anyway? Attack the Devil's World. Oh, it's like a Pac-Man. And you can like shoot fireballs and collect things, and the Devil Man, he makes the screen scroll. You know, like he does in Smash Brothers. That's kind of neat. I don't know. I don't know. I think this is neat. It's sort of like a Pac-Man type game. Inoffensive. Good for a couple minutes. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like, you know, fantastic. I would say, like, this is the level of, like, a jungler type game. Do y'all know Jungler? Jungler was on, Game Room. It was, like, one of the Game Room launch titles that, people thought was very funny because it's sort of a weird... one of these, like, maze-type games that wasn't very, like, well-known. And it was just sort of a weird pick for launching a service with. Jungler. Is Game Room all the way gone now? You can't, like, boot up Game Room and be like, hey, I got Jungler. Y'all want to see Jungler? I had Jungler in Game Room. I don't think I have Jungler anymore. If Game Room is, you know, no more. This is a genre that no longer exists in the modern day. The maze game. Probably for the best. Like, Pac-Man is a good game, but, like, you don't need any more than one game like Pac-Man. It's sort of like, as the map's going around, it's looping. So it sort of wraps around as it leaves one side of the screen, comes back on the other. There's like some Christianity themes here. The Devil Man is is a baddie. Bonus box that is a Catholic thing, you know. They have bonus box. They eat from the bonus box. It's like a box of crackers. You know, like Christ is. Christ is not a box of crackers, but that's like his soul or something. You know? Is this game insensitive? I don't know. Maybe. It is funny that, like, it's just, like, based off, you know, God and stuff. And the devil. And there's, like, crosses everywhere. I'm sure they just thought, like, okay, whatever, it's all just, you know, fair game for video game ideas. Like, oh, we got devils. I guess there are, like, devils in, like, you know, anime and stuff. But usually it doesn't have such a Christian flair to it, you know, when they do devil stuff. You know, like Chainsaw Man. The big conceit is that there's all sorts of, like, various devils that are called devils, but no one is, like, you know, Mother of God or, like, you know, doing anything with a rosary in Chainsaw Man. It's not that kind of devil. It's more of a agnostic type devil, you know? They're more like just, devoid of the religious context. And that's probably for the best, really, that they do so. I got this cross so I can pick up the dots so long as you have the cross. That's how religion works. There's not also there's not dinosaurs in most Catholic Christian faiths, you know? It's not really a thing. Yay! This is alright. 3 out of 5. A neat conceit for a game like this. The screen moving around as you, like, explore it is a neat way for this kind of game to, like, it's a neat twist beyond, like, what Pac-Man does, you know? Having to deal with, like, oh god, I'm being scrolled off the screen. Very inventive for its era. I could go as high as a 4 out of 5, given that there's, like, historical context here for this being, like, you know, before games were good. Or before games were that good, you know? Like, before the first platformer came out, and they said, like, oh crap, you can have, like, a whole adventure in a single game. It's not, like, just a 5-minute thing, where you play it, and, you know, you sort of run out of things to do real fast like, you know? It's not just like a score attack thing that you can repeat endlessly. It's like, oh, there's like 40 levels here. Wow. You know, and that maybe changed the game. That's enough of that. There's a lot of other NES games that I suppose we could dip into at some point. But, not tonight, I think. If anyone were to have, like, suggestions for me, like, oh, you should check out this one. You should check out Fire and Ice. It's actually good. Like, what the fuck is that? Puzzle game, probably? I don't know. Yeah, it said puzzles. Okay. You should check out Nightshade. Ooh. I've heard someone say that Star Tropics is really good, and I should check that out. Not tonight. We're already pretty late into the stream. But, like, hey, you know, there's a million Thursday streams that are in the future. Perhaps one can be very, like, retro game bounce around type focused. Let's look at, see if there's any GB Game Boy games that have come out recently. I think there were some... Yeah, totally. Definitely. Update. Let's see what's new. Did Tilt and Tumble come out? One of them might be Tilt and Tumble. Does the SNES controller have a gyro in it for Tilt and Tumble? Did Tilt and Tumble come out? I forget what is this. Castlevania Legends? What the hell? Okay, let's find out what Castlevania Legends is. Castlevania Legends. And this is GB Online, Game Boy Online. I'm just going to update the stream information. Castlevania Legends. What the fuck is this? I have it set where it's the green colors. That's good. Let me check the volume real fast. Oh yeah, that's plenty low. Let's do that. That'll be good. Standard mode. What is this? This is like Castlevania in the old sense. This is the tale of a young girl's struggle to single-handedly provide Transylvania, a place ruled by madness and despair, with the light of hope. What? A girl? What girl? Who? Transylvania. I think usually Castlevania is like its own thing. It's not really like linked to the country of Transylvania, which is an actual place what existed. Does it still exist? Is Transylvania a real place? I think it might have been like a historical base. It's a region in Romania. In central Romania. Okay, so it's a region. I'm gonna take it down just a scotch. Seems like this might be a little high. It's really slow. I'll say first off. The music is good. Good music. I'll give it some more. I'll give it some more mustard. More volume, you know? This is a good song. You walk really slowly. I guess it's not like a train wreck. You know, because you walk so slowly, you can sort of see things coming. You can react to things. And that at least is good. Oh, you can throw things. Wait, no, it's not like a up combination thing. Collection items. Looks like I got an upgrade and now I have a projectile. Okay. Fuck you. That sucks. Wow. I'm sorry, that just sucks. To, like, just be flung back into a pit, which, by the way, just based on the jump distance here, it's kind of hard to get over the pits anyway. Just as a result of... What? Okay, you have to, like, get onto the rope here. Wait. Get onto the rope here and, like, slowly climb down. I would say this, makes the GBA, the Game Boy Advance, Castlevanias that aren't, Symphony of the Night, or aren't, Area of Sorrow, it makes those look good, because it's really slow, the gameplay is really one note. If this was a WarioWare minigame, a WarioWare microgame, I would say it's a little bit dull. It's a little bit dull for a microgame. I feel like after, you know, you wouldn't want to see this microgame more than once. Because it's not really, like, doing enough here. There's a way to run, I don't know it. But this is not a good feeling game. And, ooh. The way that you have to, like, hit up to grab onto the rope, I mean, but when you hit up, you're like, you lose your momentum. You know, you stop moving to the right because you stopped holding the directional button. Means that you could sometimes end up, like, stopping in midair before you've landed on the rope. This is, not great. Not great. Ooh. Little bit pooey. It works perfectly well. It's just, devoid of anything good that you would want in a game. 2 out of 5? Is that unfair? I don't know. Maybe you have to consider that the Game Boy was a platform where, you know, you couldn't really see it very well. So, and it was just really small screen-wise. So, you probably wanted it to move slow and feel like shit. You know, and be very, like, slow-paced and deliberate. I don't know, though. None of it feels good, and, yeah, look. When you have pits and you just have to jump across them really, really awkwardly, it just sucks. They can't really do much other than having a pit of, like, the one length that a pit is. In this for a lot of good reasons. It looks good for a Game Boy game. You know, the backgrounds are reasonably detailed. If it weren't for the fact that it feels really bad to play, this might be good. Yeah, 2 out of 5. I don't see any way around that appraisal. You think we're, like, nearly done with a level? I think there's, like, a boss or something at the end of this. I'm gonna say maybe. I would hesitate to call this platforming. And I know that some of the Castlevania games are good. I was talking to like a relative of mine was telling me about how he what was it, like the 4th Castlevania? He said is like timeless. He says it's like one of the best of those original like 2D Castlevanias. So there are ones that people are like would say hold up. I mean, I'll say I got into them when they became Metroidvanias, and they got a lot less linear, a lot more big in scope, which I think is the way to go, you know? Games like this where you just sort of like walk to the right and defeat guys and, you know, do a thing repeatedly until the game ends. I just don't think they're as good. I mean, I guess one of the ones I really love is Order of Ecclesia. And Order of Ecclesia does take things back to a level-based thing. Most of the levels are like self-contained and, you know, very small in scope compared to like the way the Metroidvania type games work. But that's kind of a different thing, and it still has like a... I thought it was gonna turn around. It still has like a Metroid progression. Maybe there's like secret moves. Okay, well these are just... If there is some sort of documentation that like explains how you play the game. What I thought when they did this shit for Virtual Console, didn't they include like manuals and stuff? Maybe there are those, but they're in like the main menu rather than maybe not accessible in game. Feel like that would help us out to be able to look at some of these manuals before we actually like pop in. Okay, here's a boss. Let's fight this boss and check and see if there's anything new on the Game Boy Advance. How do you fight this guy? I guess you just learn his patterns and you know, like, oh, he's gonna... Wait, what the hell? How do you get away from him? Oh, maybe you just have to be, like, at the very left side. Okay, you need to be, like... When he's flapping, you need to be as far away as you can get. Right? What? Okay. Maybe you need to, like, wait for a second before you start walking. The fuck? I don't understand. Not like a run button or anything of the sort that'll like accelerate you. If there is a run button, I don't see it. I've tried double tapping, I've tried holding. Hey, we got an ability? Well, this is certainly a Castlevania old style game on Soul Weapon. Oh, we got like, I think that's like a time freeze thing, maybe. Okay, yeah, so we got up and the thing activates like a time freeze ability that freezes everything in place. Alright, that's fine. More enemies that you recognize. We're now inside a castle, which looks nice. Okay, we're done. Okay, yeah, I guess this is all there is. There's no, like, manual or, like, other game information. Castlevania, I would put in the same row as Alone in the Dark, Quest for Camelot, and all this other crap. What the fuck was Quest for Camelot? Action adventure game. Isn't... Oh no, this is like, I think I saw this. This isn't like that FMV game where you do the thing. It's like a whole different thing. It's like an RPG. We don't need to see that. That was not that recent. Though I didn't like show it on. I don't need to show off every game that comes out. That's you know, not necessary. Alright, I need to grab an actual controller here that has a home button on it. How about the N64 controller? That'll work. What the fuck? It's not connecting. It's like vibrating. Weird. It's like failing to connect to my... 1 second, I'm gonna grab my Pro controller. What the fuck? It's also not connecting. That's bizarre. Let me grab the Joy-Cons. It got this. It got like put to sleep for a second. This one's not connecting. The fuck is going on here? Is it because it's synced in single player only mode, and it won't connect like a second player? That's weird. Okay, you know what? The SNES controller is off. I'm gonna use this one, and okay, there we go. You know what? We're not going to use the SNES controller for Game Boy Advance or Game Boy on account of you cannot get out of that these applications using that controller, it turns out. and it makes it complicated to get out of there via other means. Okay, lesson learned. Let's see, anything new over here? No, not really. There was Fire Emblem, which was relatively recent. Seems alright, very lightweight. I don't think I'll ever play it. Any more than like a minute or two. Alright, let's return to where we started. The N64 Online. Let's return to N64 Online. And, specifically, Jet Force Gemini. Jet Force Gemini. Add the tag N64 Online. And it's not really my first time. I played this game a little bit before. Let's just play a bit of this, and then we will end. We will go to the next thing, or not go to the next thing. Like, I will do a raid, and then I will, do stuff with the rest of my night. Off stream, as I tend to do. Maybe I'll sleep at a reasonable time. I wouldn't count on it. It is supposed to be presented in widescreen. I think that is broken on this version. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I have this like capture thing set up so that it's sort of like offsets. Because it's 13. It's 3x4. So I'm bigger, and there's this whole blank space below me. Should I be putting that to good use during these streams? I don't know, but I think it's better to have it be bigger. A bigger empty space rather than have like empty space on either side, perhaps. It's really up for interpretation. Up to, taste. I kind of think it's better for me to be bigger and for me not to block any of the gameplay, considering that there's all this blank space left over. How's the audio here? Let's put it like there. Check the speaker settings, control mode, normal or expert. What's the difference? Well, it defaults to expert, so let's leave it at that. 2-player, yeah, I'm not gonna. If anyone wants to join and play, I'd be okay with that, but would count on it. Widescreen. Oh, wow, okay. God. The widescreen doesn't look good. No, it looks really bad. Like, it's sort of letterboxed. It's like a letterboxed widescreen. On the TV, even. That's all screwed up. That's all screwed up right there. You know what, why don't we just, like, show that, but I'll go to this view so you can see the whole screen. If this is what it was supposed to look like, I mean, these buttons look really flat. This is too wide. This is too wide right here. Okay, you can put in a long name, that's good. There's this whole planet. Yeah, okay, so even in gameplay, the widescreen is like 16 by... It's not 16 by 9, it'd be like 16 by 8 or something. I don't know. 16 by 7. It's really wide. Yep, there's a dog. There's your twins. I always thought these twins were like, you know, identical twins, you know? And that they were both ladies. One of which is like, you know, dressed in a skirt and all, and a dress. The other one is more like, conservatively dressed. Turns out that one's a dude. The one who's like, dressed like a human being. So, yeah, you know, my first impression was like, this is like, getting away from, like, being a little bit over-sexualized. One character is sexualized, but the other one isn't. That's nice and refreshing. Oh, wait, the other one has a penis? Okay, well, that's, you know, as a dude? Okay, well, that's just... Okay, that's not actually good, then. It's just regular gender roles. It's not anything, you know, good. I guess part of that is that they're called, like, Juno and, fuck, it's another weird name, that isn't necessarily, like, you know, male or female first, you know what I mean? So, if you told me that, so they could have been, like, either gender, really, but, that was mostly my misinterpretation. Why'd they run on the treadmill to, like, get into their pods? Into their ships? Well, I'll say this. This is a hell of a lot... There's a hell of a lot more here than there was in, 1080-degree snowboarding. Like... That was a lot less of a game compared to this. So this guy, I guess this guy is Juno, which isn't that the name of the movie where the girl is pregnant? Isn't that the name of the movie where with Michael Cera and a young Elliot Page, you know, before I say the girl, you know, he was playing a woman in the movie at the time. That's what I mean by that, to be clear. Anyway, that was a pregnant woman, a pregnant teen. So you can understand, like, my confusion here with this character named Juno. You know, I don't know. I guess that was, like, way later. I don't know if Juno had much of an association with either gender. What is the other one's name? There's Juno. Yep, Force Gemini. Well, this looks pretty good. I'll also say that. It's good to look at. The alien world is pretty well realized. It's very detailed and very pretty. There's Juno. A young teenage boy. Vila is the other one. Oh, I don't like that one as much. I feel like they should both have J names. It should be like Juno and Janus or something. And Juno should be the lady. Vila, that's just not a very good name. And then there's Lupus, who is the dog. It would be cool if Juno was a lady too, and just, you know, you had one gender roles lady who is just like super doing the gender roles thing, you know, and another lady who was, you know, more just a tomboy or just dressed properly. But no, if you want to dress properly, you gotta be a dude, it turns out. Oh, wow, you can move the screen up and down. What the hell? This is intentional then. Well, why do you have it work like this then? What the hell? This is bizarre. Okay, you know what? Sure. I'm gonna turn the widescreen off and go back to this view where it's, you know, where I'm bigger. I played a little bit of this on N64 on Rare Replay relatively recently. Hello, Juno. Vela and Lupus came not so long ago. Feisty pair. That's Magus. Do some stuff. Too much text. I don't like to read. You can sort of like strafe with the C buttons. You can go down and prone. You can jump with up C. You can go into an aim mode with the R button. And Z is your fire button. Maybe this is like more suited to this than it is on like an Xbox controller. You know, where you know, you play better games that work better than this all the time. That said, I don't think this is any GoldenEye. Too much text. I'm not gonna read that. Well, now I don't know what's going on because I didn't read the text. Whoops. So there's all these, like, ant guys. They're your enemies, is the... I forget what they're called. I do know there's a code where you can make these guys look like It's Mr. Pants. The star of It's Mr. Pants. Mr. Pants. Of course, they are not It's Mr. Pants, so that is not a canonical appearance of Mr. Pants. But instead, just a bunch of ants looking like the iconic Mr. Pants. If anyone is confused about which games Mr. Pants canonically appears in, it's Mr. Pants and Banjo-Tooie. Banjo-Tooie, he's on TV. You know, you can make the argument that maybe that's just a recording of Mr. Pants. But as far as we know, that's like a live, it could be a live stream of, or like a live show of Mr. Pants. Like a talk show or something. People on the internet have given serious thought to whether that counts as the physical appearance of Mr. Pants. And they have decided, yes, it does. Banjo-Tooie is canon for Mr. Pants. That is a canonical appearance. Official. As official as unofficial can get. What are we doing? One thing to note is camera controls. There are none. Like, all you can do is enter aim mode, I guess, to twist the camera around. You know, because you strafe with the C buttons. And, like, if you want to turn the camera, I think your only choice is to go into, like, aim mode with R. L doesn't do anything. Start as a pause. We need to shoot these guys. And shoot the thing. I think that's a checkpoint. Okay, cool. This will be more of an action sequence. Oh crap, this is synthesized voice. Okay, we can collect those. Yeah. We will do that.
These crates contain ammunition. Collect them to increase your supplies.
I guess this will be the first, you know, in some case, like, for the platform, this is maybe one of the first, shooters you might have encountered, so, yeah, sure, explain everything. Rescue the tribals.
When you have completed your objectives, find the takeoff pad where your ship awaits. You are now one step closer to Mizar's lair.
Okay, let's do it. Woo. I think this is a very well-made experiment that didn't work out. Like, you could see if this controlled, like, say, GoldenEye, that this would be cool, right? But it doesn't. You have to use, like, the... It's like GoldenEye, but it's more, like, moving around based, rather than, like, automatically, like, dialing in the aiming for you and being more of a first-person thing. A failed attempt at making a third-person shooter. And as a result, like, all the shooting is very, very, very tedious. And involves a lot of, like, going into this mode where, you know, it's very hard to dial in a shot. And, well, that's the bread and butter of the game. Maybe you can do a little bit of freehand. Actually, this seems to be not entirely... It's actually working reasonably well. Just like running at guys and pulling the trigger. Except for the fact that you can't, like, you can't, like, it's hard to move the camera around. As a result, you have many a blind spot. Hell yeah. Okay. This is a lot less successful than GoldenEye, and even GoldenEye is like, feels its age. I feel like this one would be very, very hard to go back to. To step up from Winback, I'll say that. To step up from Winback... Wonder what my backlogged review of I think that was the reason why I did that rare replay revisit stream, as I wanted to get, like, fresh thoughts on each of those games before I wrote a review for each of them. Let me see what I put down for Force Gemini. Three out of 5. Yeah, that's about right. An experiment in shooting games on console that kind of half works. The game is strangely cinematic in places, which is then followed by running through sparsely decorated rooms, shooting a bunch of big ants that don't do much interesting. With the updated controls and rare replay, the shooting feels pretty good. With the not updated controls, it feels fine. Not great, but it's not really built to be that, I guess. But it's clearly not all the way there. Yeah, I would agree with that. Though I would note, like, even the original controls are nothing to phone home about. What about the, let me see. Go into the options here. What's normal control? Okay, this seems to be normal. Z is still shoots, R is still gun. A is jump under normal, and B is prone. Okay, so presumably it takes some of the things that were on A and B and puts them onto the C buttons instead, perhaps. Which I would assume be things like menu functions. I think this might be better. I feel like jumping and going prone on A and B makes a bit more sense. Well, jumping on A makes more sense to me. I guess, you know, there's like Xbox games like Skyrim and stuff where you like you jump by hitting the Y button. Whoa, what was that? Did I hit something? I don't know what that was, but whatever. Feels a little bit more like a regular video game with jump on A, I will say. A red key is required. Okay. Three out of 5 is, I think, a very fair score for this. It is very ambitious, but kind of doesn't work. It's a failed experiment. But they did put in a lot into it. Hey, there's the red key. Thank you. Some stuff in this is confusing, like having to come over here to get the red key just to go back over. Like, why just not have the door be unlocked? I don't know. I don't like it in games when it's just like, ah, there's like a door. You need to go find a key card. You know, that to me is just weirdness. Lock in. It looks like it locks in, but I don't think it actually does. I shot that guy to death. Cool. I found the machine gun. And now with up and down on the C stick, I can, or on the C buttons, I can go up and down the through my inventory. All right. Well, that's not bad. How do I... Okay. If I can jump all the way over there, I don't know. Seems a little weird. Maybe a might bit unreliable. Door locked, shoot target. Okay. Okay, so machine gun open door by shooting really fast. Cool. There's a way to reload. I don't see it. Oh, okay, you have like a maximum... You have a maximum ammo. Every gun has like so much ammo, and you don't reload. You run out of ammo, and that's it. That's like your maximum. It's not like reserve ammo down there. 150. If you're wondering how this works, this is like, you have to find the exact angle with which to aim on the stick. It's like GoldenEye. It's like Banjo-Tooie. It is not an aiming system that has aged generously. I am, you know, it's the kind of thing where when you played it as a kid, you thought, I don't really like the way this feels, but I guess this is just how it works. And then as an adult, maybe, you know, I say as an adult, as games have evolved, it's become clear, never make it work like this. Like, no, at no point should you be expected to like dial in the exact right angle on a stick. Like, they are not that precise where you can reasonably do that. In fact, I would say in most games today, you are not expected at any point to hold your stick at any like intermediate angle. You know, like, you're never supposed to do it at, like, a walk. You're sort of just expected to, like, mash the stick all the way in the direction you're going. And that's, that works great. You know. Again, you know, this is the N64. They were just figuring out how analog sticks should work. And at the time, they figured, like, well, it's analog, so we should make use of all the analog precision that it has. No. Don't. Don't do that. Just... make it so that they tilt the stick fully in the direction they want to go. And that's all the thought that needs to be put in there. You know, there's no such thing as finagling. No one has that sort of, like, has that in them. The fuck? So that's a life force door. It kind of feels like, being on ice. And just, like, slipping around as I'm, like, running around trying to, like, line up a shot on that guy. Kind of feels like when you're in an ice level, and it's sort of easy to overshoot. I guess having three, like, the stick controls your movement, but also the, but also, like, the two C buttons. It just doesn't feel right. You start turning yourself bodily, or, like, running in the direction that you're... Alright, we got through that. Crap! I think my health might be really low. I'm unsure if I need to be scared of these guys. Or not. All I know is that it really isn't nice to... I really don't like to use the stick in this way. No. No. Okay, let's go over here. Man, this oh, okay, hang on. Good. That's good to know that the guys that were here, we already took care of them. They're already gone. I'm at the very least glad I don't have to fight those guys again. But it's not great, is it? The way that this all unfolds. Also, you cannot. It's not like GoldenEye where you can aim in a direction and, you know, expect a hit. You can only do that if they're on the ground, and, you know, even that is not, like, as easy, as effortless as it is in GoldenEye. Okay, that's GoldenEye. Or, sorry, that's, Force Gemini. It doesn't really work in today's modern era. Is this gonna just... If you die, you have to start over, either at the start of the level. Yeah, I think this is the start of the level. And, yeah, it kind of blows when that happens. That kind of blows. That would be my, my big thought there. That kind of blowed. It's an ambitious experiment, and it almost kind of half works. But, in today's modern world, I would not advise, playing it. Let me sort these. Force Gemini, you go with Winback. Harvest Moon, I would say that you go with GoldenEye, Pilot Wings, and Mario 64. I think you're about on this level. Same as Mario 64, GoldenEye. Yeah, you're really great, and I really like you. 1080, you go with here. I'll put Force Gemini up a level. It can be better than Winback for me. About the level of all this stuff that is also theoretically good, but I'm not as into as other N64 games. Should the Mario parties be moved down a tier below Yoshi's Story, Ocarina, Star Fox 64, and F-Zero X? Yeah, probably. They're really great, but admittedly, the third game is the best of the bunch. And Ocarina is a hell of a game. Ocarina should be like the second highest tier to the top, honestly. I can't wait until they add Banjo-Tooie. Last thoughts here tonight. Whenever they add Banjo-Tooie to the lineup, that'll be a good day. And not only will we do a stream of that, I'll play through the whole damn thing on N64 Online. That'll be like a whole playthrough series whenever they add it. Please go ahead, add that before you add like what other N64 rare games are there. Add that before Blast Corps, please. You know, I guess I would take Diddy Kong Racing or Donkey Kong 64 first if they wanted to add those. You know, Diddy Kong Racing is a beloved classic. But, I guess I appreciate, Nintendo, how they're adding, like, oddball games and games that you wouldn't necessarily expect. Like Harvest Moon, Jet Force, and, 1080-degree snowboarding. Like, those seem like weird priorities, but it makes it a more fleshed out offering, makes it a more, gives us some variety and such, and I think that is very nice. I'm just gonna pop it over to here for the until we do the raid. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for tonight. Go ahead and pull the schedule up. Tomorrow will be viewer levels at 6 p.m. Central, as per usual. I'm going to make sure that doesn't start later than planned. Today we were a little late because the camera was all funny. Hopefully that won't happen tomorrow as well. But we'll see, I guess. Sometimes technology acts weird, and hopefully it doesn't, continue to do that all the time, I suppose. Let me see. After that will be Heart of the Swarm next Monday. That'll be the final Heart of the Swarm stream. The final stream of StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. So that's nice. That campaign has went very quickly. There's just one planet left, so expect something like 2-3 hours tops for that stream. Very short streams of that campaign. It's turned out just the way that it's all come together. I don't know what Aki Setsuna is playing, but has the tag of Mario Maker 2. How about Aki Setsuna? I think Aki Setsuna has submitted viewer levels to me before. Sure, let's go with that. I'm going to send you over there. I'm just going to get my thing ready to stop. Okay, so yeah. So tomorrow, viewer levels. Monday, final StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm stream. There will still be a third campaign of StarCraft 2, but that'll be after some other playthrough series. So that'll be like a month or 2 or 3 into the next year. So that'll be fun. That'll be for the future. That'll be Monday, finishing off the second campaign. Very good. And then on Thursday, next Thursday, I'm expecting to do some sort of Game of the Year refresher where I revisit like a handful of my favorite games throughout the year. I got a whole list of ones that I'm considering, and I'm sort of thinking in the back of my head now, like, okay, like Zelda, that's easy. Mario, that's easy. Pikmin, that's reasonably easy. Some games, though, they're like story games, so I'm not sure how I'm going to revisit them, but we'll figure something out. Then maybe some of those will be shorter, just like, okay, let's just look at Vemba for 2 minutes because it's like a 1 hour game. And, that'll be good. Good to get all those Game of the Year type things in, like, to consider. Anyway, that'll be a thing. Tomorrow, viewer levels. See you then. Bye, folks. Y'all have a good one. Good night.